Amazon. Off. Amazon. Off. Thank you. Okay, good morning everyone. Sorry, had music on. Amazon. Flash briefing.
Jamie, getting your flash briefing. In NPR News.
Crank it up.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. The latest storm system is pulling out of California after dumping heavy rain and triggering dangerous flooding. At least 14 people have been killed, including some by falling trees. In Ventura County, Fire Captain Brian McGrath says crews have been rescuing homeless people who live along the now flooded Ventura River. He says 7 people had to be rescued from a small island.
Right.
We need to get everyone out of the area to higher ground, to a place of safety, as well as let's get to these shelters so that way we can get warm and dry and out of this time.
That audio is courtesy of ABC7 Los Angeles.
Well, he's talking
the
about
National
getting
Weather
warm and
Service
dry,
says
and you were
another
talking
system
about
is
fires?
poised to slam into California,
maybe I
pouring
misheard.
rain onto oversaturated soil. In Ukraine, intense fighting is continuing in and around the eastern city of Bakhmut, according to both Ukrainian and Russian officials. As NPR's
the
Melissa
Bakhmut
Nadworny
over there.
reports, Russian
Okay.
and the Wagner paramilitary forces have made advances on a small town northeast of the area.
Russian forces have been trying to capture the city of Bakhmut for many months. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky recently visited, and Hold Bakhmut has become a rallying cry. According to UK intelligence, Ukrainian troops are dug in there. Recent Russian gains in the nearby salt mining town of Soledar are part of an attempt to surround Bakhmut. But experts at the Institute for the Study of War say those gains do not mean an imminent encirclement of Bakhmut. Zelensky, in his daily address, said Ukrainian forces' effort in and around the area have brought Ukraine additional time and military power. Melissa Nadworny, NPR News, Kyiv.
Thousands of pro-democracy protesters filled the streets in Brazilian cities such as Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro yesterday. Brazilian government officials say they will prosecute people behind Sunday's rioting in the capital. They'll also investigate allegations that local security allowed the rioters to seriously damage government buildings. Stocks opened higher this morning as the Federal Reserve reports an uptick in consumer debt. NPR's Scott Horsley reports the Dow Jones Industrial Average rose about 20 points in early trading.
Consumers' outstanding credit card debt rose more than $16 billion in November. A survey by Bankrate finds more Americans are now carrying a balance on their credit cards from month to month. And with rising interest rates, the cost of that debt is near an all-time high. House Republicans passed a bill last night to roll back additional funding for the IRS. The measure has virtually no chance of winning approval in the Democratic Senate, but if it did, forecasters say it would add $114 billion to the federal deficit over the next decade. That's because money invested in the IRS helps to reduce tax evasion. The former CEO of the Trump Organization is set to be sentenced today for his role in a tax fraud scheme. Alan Weisselberg is expected to get 5 months behind bars. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
You're listening to NPR News from Washington. Saudi Arabia says more people will be able to participate in this year's Hajj pilgrimage. In the last few years, the pandemic prompted the kingdom to limit the number of pilgrims. All able-bodied Muslims are required to participate at least once in the pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca for religious observances. The Golden Globe ceremony will be back on television tonight after years of controversy. NPR's Madeleine Del Barco reports the organization honoring film and TV has made changes and is attempting a Hollywood comeback.
NBC will once again broadcast the Golden Globes, having not aired the ceremony amidst controversy over the host organization's controversial practices and lack of diversity. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association says it's reforming with new rules and by adding more diverse journalist members.
It really took a crisis in order to allow this organization to evolve.
CEO Todd Bowley says the HFPA is rebranding as a more professional, for-profit organization. Some Hollywood insiders are still skeptical, but others are ready to walk the red carpet for what's traditionally been Hollywood's loosest award show, this time hosted by comedian Gerard Carmichael. Madeleine Del Barco, NPR News.
Tonight is the next drawing of the Mega Millions lottery. The jackpot is an eye-popping $1.1 billion. That is one of the largest grand prizes in U.S. history. No one has won the Mega Millions jackpot since last October. However, the odds of winning are about 1 in 300 million.
should.
I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News in Washington.
How do we reinvent ourselves? And what's the secret to living longer?
Not listening to commercials helps me.
On NPR's
Amazon.
TED Radio Hour.
Skip.
In NASA news, imagine a future in space where pellet beam propulsion systems speed up travel to other worlds, pipelines on the moon transport oxygen between settlements, and Martian bricks grow on their own before being assembled into homes.
Grow brick? Well, then your
AC
home would be
Shireen is
growing.
NASA's
No,
new chief
then you'd have to
technologist,
freaking
serving
chia
as
pet cut
principal
your home.
advisor to
No,
Administrator
bad
Bill
idea.
Nelson on technology policy and programs at the agency's headquarters in Washington. He will
That's
lead
what research
technology
going to?
innovation.
Growing your own bricks for you to build your house? They're going to grow
A
out of hand.
SpaceX Dragon
You're
cargo
gonna have to
resupply
constantly travel.
spacecraft
No.
is set to depart the International
Can't forget
Space
people
Station on
researching.
Monday, January 9, returning scientific research samples and hardware to Earth for NASA. NASA has awarded the Space and Earth Sciences Data Analysis V, says the V, contract to AdNet Systems Incorporated of Bethesda, Maryland, to provide Earth and space science research and development at the agency's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt,
I hope you'll
Maryland.
give us a double dose of NASA, so just so I can see if I
Former
just
astronaut
misheard
Walter
that.
Cunningham, who flew into space on Apollo 7, the first flight with crew in NASA's Apollo program, died early Tuesday morning in Houston. He was 90 years old. In weather. Right now in Seattle, it's 44 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Today's forecast has intermittent clouds with a high of 56 degrees and a low of 41 degrees. From NASA. Imagine a future in space where pellet beam propulsion systems speed up travel to other worlds, pipelines on the moon transport oxygen between settlements, and Martian bricks grow on their own before being assembled into homes.
No!
AC Shireen is NASA's new chief technologist,
I will
serving as
not imagine
principal
that.
advisor to Administrator Bill
that's
Nelson on
stupid.
technology policy and programs at the
Grow
agency's
your own
headquarters
bricks.
in Washington.
No.
He will lead technology innovation. A SpaceX Dragon cargo resupply spacecraft is set to depart the International
you had
Space
me with
Station on Monday,
propulsion
January
going
9,
faster, you
returning
know.
scientific research
Not so
samples
sold
and
on the
hardware to
oxygen
Earth for
tubes
NASA.
between settlements because high winds and whatever, you know, this is a
NASA has
a
awarded
hazard
the
waiting to
Space and
happen.
Earth Sciences Data
But
Analysis V, says the V,
I understand
contract to
there's some
AdNet
stuff that
Systems
can
Incorporated of Bethesda,
withhold
Maryland,
storms.
provide Earth and space science
my
research and
recommendation would be
development at the
bury
agency's
those
Goddard
things
Space
under the
Flight Center in
ground.
Greenbelt, Maryland.
If anybody from NASA's listening, yeah.
Former astronaut
I
Walter
know there could be
Cunningham, who
earthquakes or
flew into
whatever.
space on
Maybe
Apollo
just
7, the
have
first
some
flight with crew
underground
in NASA's
and
Apollo
up top,
program,
you know,
died
like a
early
double
Tuesday
measure.
morning in Houston.
And have a shut-off
He was 90
system
years
between
old.
it, so if one is breached,
That's all
you
for
can
your
shut it
flash
off and work
briefing.
on it while the other one's still active. You know what I'm saying? If the one up top gets damaged and breached, you got the tunnels underground feeding the oxygen, you're good. You can fix the top one. If the one underground gets compromised, the top one's still connected, you can fix the bottom one. Like a, you know? Anyways. But growing your own bricks, nah. Let's take that brick growing money and put it into the oxygen tubes underground also. This is what I think. All right. Peace. Enjoy your day.